the Tower of Babel. The iniquity of godlessness of Nimrod reached their climax in the building of the Tower of Babel. His counsellors had proposed the plan of erecting such a tower. Nimrod had agreed to it, and it was executed in Shinar by a mob of 600,000 men. The enterprise was neither more nor less than rebellion against God. And there were three sorts of rebels among the builders. The first party spoke, "Let us ascend into the heavens and wage warfare with him." The second party spoke, "Let us ascend into the heavens, set up our idols, and pay worship unto them there." And the third party spoke, "Let us ascend into the heavens and ruin them with our bows and spears." Many years were passed in building the tower. It reached so great a height that it took a year to mount to the top. A brick was, therefore, more precious in the sight of the builders than a human being. If a man fell down and met his death, none took notice of it. But if a brick dropped, they wept, because it would take a year to replace it. So intent were they upon accomplishing their purpose that they would not permit a woman to interrupt herself in her work of brick making when the hour of travail came upon her. Molding bricks, she gave birth to her child, and, tying it round her body in a sheet, she went on molding bricks. They never slackened in their work, and from their dizzy height they constantly shot arrows toward heaven, which returning were seen to be covered with blood. They were thus fortified in their delusion, and they cried, "We have slain all who are in heaven." Thereupon God turned to the 70 angels who encompassed his throne, and he spake, "Go to, let us go down and there confound their language, but that they may not understand one another's speech." Thus it happened, thenceforth none knew what the other spoke. One would ask for the mortar, and the other handed him a brick. In a rage, he would throw the brick at his partner and kill him. Many perished in this manner, and the rest were punished according to the nature of their rebellious conduct. Those who had spoken, "Let us ascend into the heavens, set up our idols, and pay worship unto them there," God transformed into apes and phantoms. Those who had proposed to assault the heavens with their arms, God set against each other so they fell in the combat. And those who had resolved to carry on a combat with God in heaven were scattered broadcast over the earth. As for the unfinished tower, a part sank into the earth, and another part was consumed by fire. Only 1/3 of it remained standing. The place of the tower has never lost its peculiar quality. Whoever passes it forgets all he knows. The punishment inflicted upon the sinful generation of the tower is comparatively lenient. On account of rapine, the generation of the flood were destroyed, while the generation of the tower were preserved in spite of their blasphemies and all their other acts offensive to God. The reason is that God sets a high value upon peace and harmony. Therefore, the generation of the deluge, who gave themselves up to depredation and bore hatred to one another, were extirpated root and branch, while the generation of the Tower of Babel, dwelling amicably together and loving one another, was spared alive, at least a remnant of them. Beside the chastisement of sin and sinners, by the confounded of speech, another notable circumstance was connected with the descent of God upon earth. One of only 10 such descents to occur between the creation of the world and the day of judgment. It was on this occasion that God and the 70 angels that surrounded his throne cast lots concerning the various nations. Each angel received a nation, and Israel fell to the lot of God. To every nation A peculiar language was assigned, Hebrew being reserved for Israel, the language made use of by God at the creation of the world.